Hey, welcome back to my channel, Simply Miss Sarah. Today I thought it would be fun if we just kind of, had a little talk about baby food while I prep my baby food. And I have a few things to decant, so I'm kind of just going to be working in the kitchen and we're going to have a chat. I'll kind of tell you what I'm doing as I go, but we're just going to kind of talk. I originally wanted to talk about just like baby food in general and why I make my own and what's like bad in baby food. And I kind of got down the search on one specific topic that I was really interested in. So I think we're going to talk about that. So first thing I'm going to do is prep some apples for some applesauce for my son. And I'll kind of tell you how I do that while we talk about rice. I have a designated scrubber brush just for fruits and vegetables. It took me a long time to get my husband to understand that this is not for cleaning dishes. Finally, I got it in him. So this is only used for fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to scrub these quick. Okay, so now that I got these scrubbed, I'm going to make a mixture of water and vinegar just to like kill anything that would be on these. These are organic Honeycrisp apples that I got from the grocery store. A lot of times I like to buy my apples from the local apple orchard that we know that own them, but they're out of, like, apples are not being sold there anymore as far as I'm aware this year. It seems a little late in the season. So anyway, I bought this from the grocery store. I don't do like exact measurements very often. And because they're not all gonna fit at the same time, I'm just gonna rotate them out. So I was recommended by my pediatrician to give my baby like first food rice cereal, and I already knew I didn't want to buy baby food from the store because I work at a hospital, and one of the nurses I was working with at the time said that she found out there was lead in the Gerber baby food that she was buying, and obviously that's concerning. Heavy metals are not good for anybody, but particularly not good for babies because their bodies are so much smaller and developing, they can't tolerate as much heavy metals as what we can as adults. I was reading today because I wanted to have a little talk with you guys and just wanted to have some specific things to tell you, like facts I thought would be fun, and I started reading about rice. And I want to say, I think I started looking at like toxins in baby food or heavy metals in baby food, and rice came up, and I guess there is a lot of arsenic in like rice, was found in a lot of rice cereals like at the store and things like that. And as I read more, it seems like rice in general, just because of the nature of how it's grown in water, no matter what region it is grown in, has pretty decent levels of arsenic, which is a heavy metal that is toxic. With the combination of those two, the levels of arsenic in rice is concerning. So they said unprocessed rice like brown rice and things like that are worse, and there are ways to remove arsenic at home, at least like up to 70%, 50 to 70%. And basically what you do is you take your rice, and then normally you cook rice like in a 2-to-1 ratio, water to rice, but what you do is you take like 4 to 10 times as much water per the rice, and you cook it for 5 minutes, and then you drain that water and rinse, and then you cook your rice, and that's supposed to remove a lot of the arsenic if you want to continue to eat rice at home, which I'm not of the thought process that I'm going to be able to eliminate all types of toxins from my baby, from my house, from myself. That's pretty unrealistic. But if I am armed with enough information, I can limit our toxic intake through our environment and food and things like that, and that is my ultimate goal, is to decrease it as much as I can. Recommended by my pediatrician to feed my baby rice cereal like as his first food because of the iron content, because they worry about babies getting anemic. There are other ways to get iron in your diet. I was anemic while I was pregnant. There's this thing called an iron fish that you can put into food while you cook it. And that will kind of absorb the iron that way, and then you can ingest it. You can use an iron skillet. There's a lot of other options besides just rice. I always steam my fruits and vegetables in my Instant Pot just because it like takes no time at all, and it makes it really easy, and I can just blend it up in my Vitamix. Alright, so I'm almost done cutting these apples. I'm going to put these into let's put this in the Instant Pot. I read a variety of time lengths to put these in for. I'm gonna do 6 minutes, and then I'll probably let it naturally release for like a few minutes, and then I will take it out. So that'll take a little bit to come to pressure, and then 6 minutes to cook, and then we will take it out. In the meantime, I am going to do some pears. Pears are not something I typically buy, but I'm trying to introduce different things to my son. I'm gonna rinse these again and scrub up, and then put them in the water with the vinegar, and then we'll cut these up too. So I bought these from Costco. Costco is a Midwest store, I recently learned. It's basically just like a bulk store. So if you have a, like, what is it called? Well, I can't think of what it's called, but I'm going to say like you can get a bunch of like name brand stuff for cheaper at this kind of store. Please put in the comments if you know what that's called, because I just can't remember. I've never cut a pear. Told you I don't normally buy these. Just cut off the top and bottom and cut it in half and see what it looks like. Okay, I think it cuts like an apple. Have you guys ever heard that, so organic is not, the term is not regulated by like the FDA or anything like that. People can just put organic on anything. I used to buy organic and then I thought, well, I think I'm just wasting my money because they're just putting organic on these labels and it doesn't mean anything. So my camera cut me off because apparently I reached the maximum recording length because I'm long-winded. And I just realized that I'm almost gonna be late for my orthodontist appointment. I have a loose wire under there that they gotta glue down. So I gotta go, but I will be back shortly and we will finish this up. Okay, I'm back. I made it and they fixed my retainer even though I was a little late. Here is our apples. I'm not sure if you can see it very well. Let me see. There's our apples. So what we're gonna do, since they had a little time to cool while I was gone, oh, it's still a little hot, steaming up my camera. All right, let me grab the apples. We're just gonna put them into my large container of my Vitamix and blend them up. Now, you have to be careful when it's still hot in the Vitamix or your blender because it can create a lot of pressure. So I'm just gonna loosen this up a little bit to let any steam out so it doesn't get too hot and pressurized in there. I think I'm just gonna let this cool for a few more minutes. You're not really supposed to put hot stuff in your Vitamix, but I do, as you can see. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit that there and let that cool. And then we'll blend it again. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean out the pot and we're going to put pears in the Instant Pot and cook those for 5 minutes, just like we did the apples. Just a couple more things I want to do while we wrap up our combo. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the FDA does not regulate baby food. So if I didn't say that, that's an important factor here. There's no governmental body that regulates baby food and what's in it. So any baby food you buy from the store, whether it says organic or this or that, no one's regulating that. No one regulates how much heavy metals is in the products that you feed your baby. Nobody is regulating this arsenic level. No one's regulating the shelf stabilization chemicals that they put in it. No one is regulating any of this, except they're supposed to be self-regulating, but they're actually not. Like I said, I don't know everything about how they feed your baby. I'm learning every day. I just try and do the best I can. I'm just a mom trying to be informed to do the best she can for her kids. Every time I learn something, I would be more than happy to share it here with you because I want you guys to know too, and I want you to be able to do what's best for your baby. All right, so I'm just gonna put the rest of this applesauce into a container. After I do that, I'm gonna put it into these silicone ice cube trays. And they come with lids, and I have 2 of those, and I'll freeze this in the pears, and then when I need one, they'll be in a baggie with labels, and I'll just pop one out and put it in a cup over some hot water to thaw it and use it. I got too much in this one. It's gonna like overflow. So I don't usually like using plastic, but it's all I have right now that's not dirty or being in use. Besides this big one that's not gonna hold it all. It's not nearly as sugary as what you get when you're buying it from the store, but that's because they add all kinds of crap to it. It's good. Hey friends, I just wanted to thank you for hanging out with me today while I got some things done in my kitchen. I hope you learned something and can now make a few more better decisions for you and your family. And I want to remind you to just do good and good things will come back to you, and I'll see you in my next video.